After confirming the game rules, Amanda acted like she was under a spell, frantically breaking free, just as she grabbed the knife and prepared to dissect the corpse for the key. The corpse suddenly came back to life. He was just overdosed with anesthesia, not really dead. Survival instincts kicked in. Even knowing the man was actually dead, Amanda was still on edge. It felt like she had just stepped into a third-rate horror flick. Of individuals or people. The media buzz was too bizarre. Amanda surprisingly answered yes. He claimed the data saved him, kicking his drug habit and making him realize life's value. What a disaster! After hearing Lawrence's story, Adam's emotions hit turbo mode, suspecting that this was all blocked by Lawrence and the data. Talk about losing it. So he angrily questioned Lawrence about why he was kidnapped, but then he suddenly noticed that the shattered mirror turned out to be a two-way mirror. Surely someone was hiding behind it. He quickly smashed the remaining mirror and discovered a camera. In other words, someone was definitely spying on their every move, but even knowing the truth, they were powerless. They could only flop around like clowns while the data watched. Meanwhile, seeing Adam's emotional rollercoaster, Lawrence warned, to leave alive, they must stay calm, find data loopholes. Since the X marks the treasure. That's in this room. Find the marked treasure, maybe escape. But it's more complex than expected. At this point, Adam questioned Lawrence on how he could be so chill. Didn't he think his wife and daughter might also be experiencing Data's special care? Lawrence angrily replied. He was recalling his last talk with his daughter. The scene shifted. Lawrence remembered last night. His wife said their daughter had another nightmare, claiming there was a stranger in her room. So his wife asked Lawrence to check on her, but he found no one at all. Just then, he suddenly received a phone call from afar. After hanging up, he comforted his daughter to sleep well and told his wife the hospital called and needed her to come back. Then, out of nowhere, Lawrence appeared and tossed his wallet to Adam to see photos of his wife and daughter. To his surprise, Adam found among photos Data left for Lawrence photos of his wife, daughter held hostage. The back of the photo had a note, a method to find the X mark, but Adam kept the truth from Lawrence and hid the photo in. After all, he wasn't sure if Lawrence would actually go through with killing him if he found out his wife and daughter were kidnapped. But after thinking, Adam asked Lawrence to turn off the lights. The next moment, an X mark appeared on the wall. Excited, Lawrence smashed the wall and pulled out a lockbox. Looking at the box on the ground, he realized that the initial key was actually meant for this box. Adam quickly picked up the key and tossed it to Lawrence. Opening the box, he found a phone and 2 cigarettes inside. And a note. Adam excitedly asked him to toss a cigarette his way, but Lawrence found that the note warned him to suck the cigarette and smoke it to get instantly poisoned. This meant the Data was subtly hinting that he could easily kill Adam without using a gun. However, Lawrence had no such plans. Instead, he picked up the phone to dial 911. To his surprise, the phone could only receive calls. At that moment, Lawrence finally remembered how he got here. Last night, after leaving the hospital, he went to the parking lot to get his car, but felt like someone was watching him. Then, suddenly, a pig-headed monster grabbed him and pulled him into this hellish place. Meanwhile, Lawrence interrogated Adam on how he knew to turn off the lights to find his cousin. Faced with Lawrence's questioning, Adam hesitantly said he was just guessing. His reaction was, Lawrence instantly realized Adam was definitely hiding something and angrily called him a liar. Out of options, Adam had to reveal the truth and handed the photo to Lawrence. It was only then that Lawrence realized his wife and daughter had actually been kidnapped by the Data, which meant that if he didn't kill Adam before 6, the Data really might go after his wife and kids. Knowing the truth, Lawrence completely broke down. To save his family, he had to taint the cigarette with poisonous blood. He prepared to use it to poison Adam and fulfill the killer's task. Next, Adam took the cigarette and he instantly collapsed. Seeing Adam's body, Lawrence despaired, shouting he'd killed Adam as ordered. He hoped they would keep their promise and let his wife and daughter go. But suddenly, Adam was jolted awake by a powerful... Turns out, after Lawrence turned off the lights, the Data couldn't see what they were doing through the camera. Lawrence quietly told Adam to help him stage a little play. The cigarette he tossed to Adam was actually a clean one. Little did they know, the Data had foiled their plan. Desperate, Lawrence struggled to free his feet, but it was in vain. In the meantime, after much commotion, Adam finally remembered that, like Lawrence, he too was a victim of the pig-headed monster. They were inexplicably captured and brought here. The pig-headed one was the data, but they still didn't know its motive. Suddenly, the phone rang on the ground. Lawrence quickly answered, only to hear his daughter's desperate cries. His daughter said they were kidnapped by an armed bad guy. Lawrence asked her to pass the phone to his wife, who surprisingly asked if he was with Adam. She warned him not to trust Adam because he had already known him.